I'm Keely here with the voice of women's basketball for Rapid Reaction. USC takes down number 2 UCLA for the Big Ten regular season title. Eli, first off, what are your instant reactions from this win?
Just how impressed I was with the way USC not only started the game against UCLA, but continued to just put pressure on the Bruins and keep them in a hole throughout that second half, especially when foul trouble really started to plague the Trojans. Some of their key contributors were in foul trouble, and everyone who came in seemed to provide a different type of spark that helped USC come away with this win tonight.
Yeah, it was interesting. It almost felt like the foul trouble helped make this win more special. Lindsey Gottlieb said after the game that it was fun to have contributions from everyone in this win, and it felt like, you know, with that foul trouble, they were able to use everyone that they've used this season.
I mean, everyone who has played a ton of minutes for this USC team had to come in and help out at certain points. Malia Samuels came in the second half and provided excellent defense for a team that really had no guard depth at that point because Kennedy Smith was in foul trouble, Talia Von Oelhoffen was in foul trouble. But I think out of all the players in foul trouble, what stuck out to me maybe the most tonight was the way Kiki Iriafen came back in the second half with 3 fouls, put up 15 of her 17 points in the second half, and didn't even pick up a foul in that second half. And just the way she was able to weather that storm, and that it goes to that's a testament to her leadership, but also being a senior with experience. And the way she played tonight was a huge reason why USC came away with this win.
We've seen all year that this team is so elite defensively, 25 points off of turnovers. How much does their defense set up their offense?
I mean, I think that is the key to USC's offense in a lot of respects. And this team knows it. They know that their intense defense has to get them in transition to get really good offense. And we saw that a lot tonight. UCLA had turnovers, and USC oftentimes looked to push the pace. And I think the Trojans did such a good job of trying to slow down Lauren Betts and really try and stop UCLA's bigs. Corey Close, the UCLA head coach, oftentimes had 3, if not 4 forwards on the floor for UCLA at a time. And USC would match that with 1, maybe 2 forwards on the floor, and just the ability for the guards to play bigger than their size and help get stops, and then it leading to offense was so big tonight.
What does it say about this team that they're able to come into Poly with this environment and put up the performance that they did?
It's such a testament to the way this team rises to the occasion. When I asked Lindsey Gottlieb before the game in our pregame interview what her message was to the team, she said just what it is. The stakes are raised tonight. It's a big game. She goes, but they will respond because they respond in big games. And we've seen that all season long, whether it be at UConn, whether it be against number 1 UCLA at Galen Center, whether it be tonight. This team has continually showed up in the biggest moments, and it has been so impressive to see this year. And it's something we've seen over the last couple of years, the way USC comes into big games, and they not only play good basketball, they play some of their best basketball in these biggest games.
Well, someone who definitely shines in the big moment is JuJu Watkins, 30 points tonight. She said after in the post-game press conference that she definitely heard the crowd, you know, egging her on, kind of booing her at times, but it fueled her more. What did you see from her performance?
I mean, just another incredible performance against UCLA. Had 23 points in the first half. Really, when USC needed offense, she provided it in that first half. And she has just been so good against a UCLA team that is one of the best defensive teams in the country. Both last year and this year, I believe her season or her career low against UCLA now 5 games is 28 points. And she hit 30 points once again tonight. And just the way she was able to do what USC needed when they got a little bit cold in that third quarter, she found a way to help carry them. And with the amount of attention that every team pays on her, just the way she's able to score the basketball is remarkable to watch night in, night out.
This USC team handed UCLA its only 2 losses of the season and did so within a 2-week span. What does that say about the game prep that Coach Gottlieb was able to do and her staff as well?
I think the way this coaching staff is able to make adjustments and get this team ready for these types of games is really impressive to watch this season. This was the only team they were able to see twice in the regular season, but it gives them a chance to go back, despite a win, watch the film and get better. And Lindsey Gottlieb said pregame she takes a lot of pride in their ability to have a good scouting report and to have good adjustments. And I think the team was locked in on the scout. That's something she said post-game, and I think they responded incredibly well tonight.
Obviously, this is a big momentum boost for the team heading into tournament season. Next up is the Big Ten tournament. What does this do for this team, in your opinion?
You hope it builds some momentum. Obviously, you play Friday in the quarterfinals. There are big goals ahead for this USC team. Obviously, this was one of the big goals that Lindsey Gottlieb had before the year, but they don't shy away from a lot of these big goals. That's what she said all season long, and so obviously they want to win the Big Ten tournament, have to get ready. It's somewhat of a quick turnaround because you have to get all the way out to Indianapolis, and then the NCAA tournament comes up after that. But it is now one and done the rest of the season, with postseason basketball starting both in the big tournament and then the NCAA tournament. So it'll be really fun to watch the way this team responds.
You know, it's interesting when I have post-game interviews with the players after wins. I feel like for most of the season, they kept saying our identity, we're still trying to figure it out. We don't really know what it is. For you, who's watched this team, called every game this season, what would you say their identity is now that the regular season is over?
I think it has to be defense. Just the way this defense plays. I mean, they are rated statistically, according to the defensive rating, which is an advanced metric, is the best defense in the conference. And as you already mentioned, so much of their offense comes from defensive stops, and we see when they get out in transition, get stops, get to transition, they do so well scoring the basketball. So I think defensively, but I mean, the ceiling for this team offensively is so incredibly high as well. So I've been just impressed with the way they've been balanced offensively, but that defense has been stifling all season long.
Alrighty, Eli, it's hard after a crazy game like this to fully put everything into words, but it's a rapid reaction for that reason. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
I'm impressed with the way this team was able to respond. Obviously, they had the loss at Iowa, and with UCLA ahead in the conference standings, they would have to beat UCLA twice to claim the conference title, which is no easy task because of how good this UCLA team is, and they are one of the best teams in the country, and USC was able to beat them twice. It is just a testament to the way this team played in those two games, and really, when you look at a conference regular season, it's so impressive because you have to be locked in for 18 consecutive games, and this USC team did just that, and it was really impressive to watch, and there were close calls, but they found ways to win those games, and that's what conference champions do.
Alrighty, that's going to wrap it up here at Pauley Pavilion. USC is your regular season Big Ten champion. For Eli, I'm Keely. We'll see y'all in Indianapolis.